Hello and welcome back to Love Spell. Well, the spell part kind of ended last time because we had the full moon, so Marcello forgot everything about us. The time we spent together. Philia is gone. How much worse can it get? Let's find out in episode 11, Dusk and Dawn. As I run out through the hospital's front doors, I catch a glimpse of Marcello's back turning a corner in the distance. Marcello, wait! Suddenly, a hand yanks me back, and I turn around to stare into Sergio's furrowed brow. Okay, wait. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he's not acting like himself right now. I can't let you go after him like this, not when war has officially broken out. Look, if he seriously doesn't remember you, he might even be capable of hurting you. Or worse, if you run into Valentino. I shake my head defiantly as I pull my arm back. No, I don't care. I have to go after him, Sergio. Without another word, I turn on my heel and run in the direction Marcello left. I'd say Sergio has a point. It's kind of dangerous. I run down street after street as fast as my legs can take me, looking everywhere for any sign of Marcello. I rush past police officers running by, sirens blaring, as they usher innocent citizens off the street. Several store displays TVs broadcast scenes of vicious riots and fights breaking out in different parts of the world. The world? What? What appears to be an all-out gang war between two massive underground organizations has come up to the surface. Casualties are being reported in by the dozens as cities all over the world tremble in fear. The military is said to be preparing a counterattack to gain control over the unfolding and increasingly intense situation, but right now, officials are urging everyone on the streets to seek shelter immediately. I run faster and faster as sirens blare in the background of my once quiet, peaceful town. Okay. As I turn into an alley, I spot a familiar large back disappearing around the corner at the other end. Marcello! I run at my top speed down the alleyway, and as I turn left, I suddenly crash into another figure and fall to the floor from the forceful impact. Oh, ow. What the hell? It feels like I ran into a wall. My eyes widen at the realization, and I quickly whip my head up. My voice cuts off, and my eyes widen as I stare into the smiling face of a familiar old woman. My, what's the rush? Hello again, dearie. My eyes widen as I stare up at the familiar face. She slowly extends a hand out to me as she smiles. I take the hand and I lift myself up as I continue to stare at her in awe. It's you. Why, yes it is. Were you expecting someone else? Now, tell me, what's got you in such a frenzied state? That's how accidents happen, don't you know? Why, I even vividly recall someone once telling me to make sure to watch where I was going. Hehehe. I'm sorry, it's just I'm in a hurry. I'm looking for someone and... Oh? But you're hurt, my dear. Huh? I look down to see that I scraped my knee during the fall, and blood is currently seeping out of the wound. Oh, I didn't even notice. Well now, that just simply won't do. Settle down for a few minutes while I tend to your knee, dearie. But I open my mouth to complain, but the witch clears her throat while shooting me a look that shuts me right up. After a brief pause, she smiles at me. The witch reaches into her bag and pulls out 2 miniature toy chairs that fit in her hand. She blows on them for a few seconds, and I watch in awe as they grow before my eyes to become life-sized. Now then, why don't you take a seat while I bandage that for you? And you can tell me all about why you're in such a hurry, I stare at my now disinfected and bandaged knee as the witch shakes her head. Oh my, quite the perilous adventure you've gotten yourself wrapped up in this time, my dear. I stand up and I turn to stare at her with pleading eyes. I have to find him. This isn't just about me or my feelings anymore. It's about so much more than that. Innocent people are getting hurt because of this meaningless fighting, and I have to find a way to protect them. The witch narrows her eyes at me as a smile plays at the corner of her lips. Well, well, quite the hero you've turned out to be, Tell me, have you always been so passionate about justice, my dear? Passionate? I don't know if that's the best way to put it at this point, but I know that I just can't sit around and do nothing anymore. Not while there's people out there getting hurt. I finish in a flurry, swallowing nervously as the witch's gaze becomes increasingly intense, as if she were gazing into my soul. But just as fast as it happened, her expression morphs back to one of amusement as she claps her hands together. Oh, you certainly have changed, my dear. But that spark for helping others still remains and burns brighter than ever, I see. It gladdens me to hear you say those things, dearie. Why, you even sound like a dashing hero from one of those old fairy tale books. You're right. I have changed. I've never felt this way before, but I want to protect people that I care about. No matter what it takes, I'm not afraid, just as long as I can help someone. Anyone. I know that I just can't sit around and do nothing anymore. Not while there's people out there who need help. Spoken like a true hero. Why, I wonder what the stories about you will say one day. Now then, every hero does need a little help fighting evil, am I right? Why don't you take this? It should prove to be of some use to you. My eyes widen. Okay. My eyes widen as I watch the witch reach into her bag to take out a platinum-colored gun. The weapon looks breathtaking as the moonlight gleams off the shining jewels encrusted on its sides. A gun? Oh, this isn't any regular old gun, my dearie, I assure you. You see, I got it from a real hero, a very, very long time ago. Its name is the Heartseeker. It's beautiful. Isn't it? It's also the downright manifestation of justice. Now, do be mindful that it won't kill or hurt someone. That's not its intention or the reason it was crafted. See, if a bullet from this gun hits someone with a truly evil heart, it will make them undoubtedly confess all of their crimes and render them immobile for a certain time. It's the perfect tool for bringing down any evil perpetrator hiding amongst the innocents. I can't help but gulp as I stare at the glimmering gun. The witch smirks in my direction. I think this should help you clear out of a few of the snakes that have slithered into this quiet town as of late. Heh. However, a word of caution. Be sure to use it wisely. I'm afraid there's only one bullet left after all this time. I hold my breath as the witch gently places the gun in my hand. The weight of it is surprisingly light, but yet I feel a mysterious sensation beginning to well up inside of me. I look back at the witch, who returns my gaze with a calm, almost knowing smile. However, my thoughts are quickly interrupted as a passing siren catches our attention. Now then, I believe you have some unfinished business to take care of, yes? Perhaps you should get going. We can catch up another time. Thank you so much for everything. If it wasn't because of you, No, there's no need for all of that. No time. I have a feeling you'll bring a lot of good to this world, my dear child. However, do promise me you will be absolutely careful. The trials before you are not to be underestimated. Am I understood? As I nod, I can't help but look down and smile as I'm reminded of a grandmother seeing of her grandchild. Just as I slowly begin to turn around, I feel a gentle hand reach out to stop me one last time. I glance back to see the witch digging deep inside her pocket. After a few moments, she pulls out a familiar-looking pen. Here, take this with you too. Even the greatest of heroes all need a friend. My eyes water at the sight of Philia's pen as the witch places it in my hand. I look up at her smiling face and I can't help but throw my arms around her in a grateful hug. Thank you. Thank you so much. I promise I'll... Save it for later. Now off with you, child. Quickly. You have someone to save, don't you? After quickly stuffing Philia safely in my pocket, I hold the gun up confidently in my other hand. Its hilt gleams in the moonlight, and I can't help but smile. Yes, I do. Interesting. As I emerged from the alley's corner, I immediately ducked back in at the sight of familiar suited men marching down the streets. I peek over the wall to catch glimpses of a small army of red dragons led by Valentino. Amongst the group, however, are faces I don't remember ever seeing at the manor. At his command, suited men break storefronts and vandalize everything in their way. Passing townspeople scream as they run in opposite directions. Non lasciare nessuno in vita. This town, and soon the world, will know the true might and fury of the Il Draghi Rosso. I gasp as a young dirty boy jumps in front of Valentino, waving a beat-up hockey stick defiantly. Get out of our town, you jerk! Suddenly, another young boy rushes in to stop him. Brother, stop! We gotta run! No way! We gotta fight against villains like him! Valentino scoffs as his eyes narrow at the two young boys. Okay, Ironia. Don't you two remind me of a duo I know, Allow me to teach you the lesson I wasn't able to teach them. Valentino motions wordlessly to one of the suited men, and the man approaches the shaking boys with a chilling smile. Don't you dare! Lay a finger on them. Lay a finger on them! I instinctively slink back into the shadows as I watch Marcello emerge from another alleyway. He narrows his eyes at Valentino as several of the red dragons begin to look amongst each other and then back at Marcello in visible disbelief. Boss, is that really you? But we heard you were dead, that you got killed by Sergio of the Black Lions. Seems that information really keeps getting miscommunicated among us lately, huh? I'm starting to wonder why. Valentino's expression is unreadable as he slowly bows. Marcello signals to the kids with a curt head nod, and they take off running. Mi signore, it is wonderful to see you well. I cannot apologize enough for my previous accidental actions. Valentino, what the hell were you thinking? Who gave you the authority to declare war on my behalf? To take to arms on my behalf? You've turned this innocent town into a battleground, and I want to know why. What happened? What happened to you to make this... what? I cannot read today, sorry. What prompted you to make this decision without my consent? My apologies, young dragon, but I was under the impression this was what you wanted regardless. Was it not your exact words, to finish this once and for all? I hold my breath as a few moments pass. I watch as Marcello closes his eyes and slowly shakes his head. No, Valentino, it's not that simple anymore. There's too much at stake here. We can't just... Marcello! At Valentino's unusual outburst, several of the red dragons fidget around nervously. Valentino slowly turns to them with a forced smile. Human, leave us. I need to have a few private words with our leader. Several of the men look amongst each other skeptically as they disperse. I watch closely as Valentino approaches Marcello. Suddenly, he throws his arms around him in a tight embrace. Marcello, my liege, my boy. Please, don't make the same mistake your father did. I have watched you grow, little dragon. I have cared for you and raised you as if you were my own flesh and blood, and I have taken great pride in the man you have become. In the dragon you have become, one fit to rule us all. But please, don't become the same cowardly shell of a man your father did. I couldn't bear to see it happen twice in a lifetime. You do understand this world will never know true peace until we, the Red Dragons, bring it forward. And for peace to be attained, there must first be war. Much like any greater purposes in life, there are sacrifices that must be made first, Marcello. You know this. I know you do. I growl as Valentino brings a hand to Marcello's face. He looks at him pleadingly. Don't let your father's great legacy die in the same vein his life did. You're right. My heart drops as Marcello looks up at Valentino with a serious expression. Valentino smiles as he bows deeply at his liege. Oh, how pleased I am to hear it, mi signore. You're right that peace has a high price on its head. That to attain true peace, a lot of changes need to take place first. But meaningless bloodshed isn't the ones I believe to be necessary. Neither did my father, or my mother, or any of the people whom you consider to be so cowardly. Yes, Marcello. What? Call off all of the attacks. Let the Black Lions know we stand down. I do not wish for war, Valentino. I grow tired of watching innocent lives be cut short over meaningless ideals. Too tired. Instead, let us find a way to rule as the mightiest underground power, without needless fighting. Skiyoko, that's impossible. It might be, but I am your leader, Valentino. I am Il Drago Rosso now, and you will follow my orders. Got that? Now, call the man off. I won't be repeating myself twice. I can't help but smile proudly at Marcello as he stares Valentino down unflinchingly. Valentino is left speechless under his gaze as he nods his head. Suddenly, a black car pulls up in front of us, and two members of the Black Lions, along with Sergio, run out towards Marcello. There you are. Marcello, we need to talk. Now. Just as Marcello turns his back to Valentino, my eyes widen as he pulls a gun out from his suit and aims it straight at the back of Marcello's head. Codardo, proprio come tuo padre. Something with father, that much I know. This is it. All seems hopeless and lost. Suddenly, I hear a voice from inside me call out. It might very well be the end, but there's still one last choice for you to make. What will you do, child? When faced against such overwhelming evil, will you choose to keep fighting, even if it could cost you everything? Or will you choose to kneel before fate? The choice is yours, and you must make it now. Warning, the choice you make here will significantly impact the rest of the story. Yes, because actually, every choice until now doesn't matter, at least towards what end you get. So it's kind of freeing in that sense, and as you see, they tell you outright when the choice actually matters, and everything else is just, well, still to build your own story, to just find out what happens in any particular scene you have a choice. But yeah, this is the only one that really matters. Some people will like that, some people won't. I'm okay with it. So let's see. This is your story. Your fate is in your hands. Choose wisely. Now tell me, what will you do? Will we shoot Valentino or save Marcello? This is phrased weirdly, to be honest. Okay, honestly, this is a bit strange because because I already played all the other routes in this game, right? And they were a lot more obvious which one was the bad and which was the good choice. That's kind of strange. Ooh, what do we do? Yeah. Because to be quite honest, I wanted to show the bad end first, but now I'm not 100% sure which one of these is the bad end. But I think it will be save Marcello. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, I think that's a steal. I think this is the bad end. And don't fret, don't fret. I'll show the good end as well. But I like to see bad news first, you know? I see. Without a second thought, I leap into action and throw my body with reckless abandon in front of Valentino's line of fire. Okay, no, I should have known that this is the bad one. Okay, sorry. A deafening gunshot rings out, followed by a harsh cry as I realize I'm falling. I land on the ground with a stiff thud, but feel nothing. My entire body is numb as I look up from where I'm laying, only to lock eyes with Valentino's utterly stunned expression. The gun in his hand is still smoking from the bullet he just fired. You again, you foolish girl. Kay! I instinctively roll my head towards the other direction when I hear that familiar voice call for me. I spot Sergio rushing to my side, dropping to his knees as he slides to a stop in the gravel beside me. His face is contorted in pain as his eyes rake over my body with a desperation I've never seen in him before. He gingerly reaches down to cradle and lift me until I'm sitting up in his arms. Kay, can you hear me? You're going to be alright. I blink as his frantic words all but fall away and fail to register in my mind. Why does his face look so tortured? Why do his eyes look like they're on the verge of tears? No, that look doesn't suit him. Those aren't the eyes I want him to look at me with. He isn't the person I want to look at me that way. As I part my lips to speak, Sergio shakes his head. No, don't speak. You're going to be alright. You're going to be alright, damn it. But my eyebrows only knit together in deeper confusion as Sergio bows his head and I feel his strong arms clutch me closer than before. I'm so sorry. This never should have happened. You should have never entered our world. You belong in the light, living your peaceful life away from all the pain and suffering that follows our past. But yet, you still followed us. With a shake of his head, Sergio looks away from me as he lowers his tone, but I'm still close enough to hear. I was way too late this time. But maybe in another life, I could have been the one to protect you. That's all. My eyes widen at the sudden confession, but before I can open my mouth to reply, another face appears in the corner of my eye and cuts off any remaining thoughts completely. There, looming few paces back, was Marcello, who had been staring at us in stunning silence, unsure how to react the entire time. What the hell was she thinking? Just who is this girl, Sergio? Marcello steps forward and reaches down towards me ever so slightly. Sergio flinches, shielding me as he growls fiercely like a lion. Don't touch her! My heart begins to race as my eyes glance frantically between the two men's faces. Marcello, But my words suddenly choke up in my throat as a pounding pain suddenly breaks through my shock and crashes down like a ton of bricks. I quickly reach down to my stomach, the source of my agonizing pain, only to feel an oddly warm and wet sensation. I slowly bring my hand back up to my face, only for my heart to sink in complete horror as I realize it's covered in blood. My own blood. Wait, no, Marcello. For God's sake, someone call a medic! We already have, sir, but due to the current situation, it may take some time to arrive. God damn it. Hey, can you hold on until then? By now, the pain is so immense that my vision is beginning to cloud over, and I can feel my grip on reality inevitably slipping away. I managed to nod back a feeble nod, despite recognizing deep within my heart that this was definitely the end for me. Stay strong, Kay. Just a little bit longer. You're going to be alright. I'll make sure of it. Marcello, what the hell are you doing? Don't just stand there like an imbecile. Go after that treacherous snake Valentino. She's behind all of this. Marcello's eyes widen for a second at the command before he straightens up and narrows his eyes down at me.
Hey, look, I don't even know the girl. She just jumped out on her own. And no, there must be some mistake here. Valentino would never betray us. He must have had some reason. Are you kidding me? You're really going to say that? Kay risked her life for you. She saved your life, Marcello. And like I said, that was her mistake. I don't know the girl.
There's a beat of silence before Sergio's eyes darken over and his head lowers. Sergio takes care to gently lay me down before he stands up, head still bowed as he bolts his fist in pure rage. Marcello narrows his eyes as he watches Sergio slowly turn around to face him. Pathetic. To think I once called a man like you brother.
Sergio, I'd watch what you say if I were you right now.
You're not the man I thought you were. You're not the man I thought you'd become. The only thing you are now is a monster who can't even tell friend from foe. Finally, Sergio's head snaps up and he reaches to his belt, swiftly whipping out a silver pistol. His stance doesn't waver even once as he aims resolutely at the man in front of him. I thought differently before, but now that I've seen it with my own eyes, I know for certain. You're not fit to rule anyone. You're not fit to protect anyone. When you couldn't even protect the woman you loved. So, here and now, I'm gonna put an end to all of this myself.
Pointing a gun to my face, huh? You know how much I hate that.
At this, Marcello merely shakes his head as he chuckles darkly to himself. The leader of the Red Dragons slowly turns away as he reaches into his own suit jacket.
You're right about one thing. I am pathetic.
In one swift motion, Marcello spins back around with one arm extended out in front as his own handgun is cocked and ready for the final shot.
But if anyone is putting a stop to all of this today, that will be me.
I feel my body growing weak and cold beyond compare, but I still want to scream out. I want to jump up and yell at the two sides to stop, but I am left utterly powerless as the last of my energy leaves me. The last thing I hear is a lone gunshot ring out before everything fades to black. Blood and tears. Yeah, there we have it. The end. Of course, it's only one of the two ends. And I should have known right immediately that this was a bad choice. But I wanted to take this because I like ending on a good note. So I at least when I'm not playing blind, or I mean I'm playing this route blind, but you know what I mean, I already played the other routes. So yeah, everything aside from the first route, I played the bad end first, because it's kind of nice to get this out of the way. Yeah, and then finish off on a better note. And yeah, this game, it has the option actually to jump right back to the choice here. Yeah. A familiar voice comes to you from within the darkness. It seems you've met a terrible fate. Poor child. I can feel the anguish and strong regret in your heart even now. Would you like to turn back the hands of time? Yeah, and here you could jump right back to the choice. But we will do that next time. Bye bye!